Hey, what's going on everyone? Rocky here with 75 South Gardening. I'm out today checking the garden, and I've noticed that a few crops need to be harvested so that they won't go to seed. So what I'll be doing today is giving you all a quick tour of my spring garden. So what I'm going to do is start with the first raised bed, then I'll work my way around the cage. And right here in this raised bed, these are all cabbage plants. We have red acres, market earlies, and round Dutch. Now the first four you see right here are all round Dutch cabbage. Now right next to it, the smaller ones are market earlies. Now these are more ideal for people growing in containers or people that have small yards like mine. And to the right, these are all red acre cabbage. Now if you don't know what red acre is, these are the purple ones that you see in the market. These also have about 30 days until they're ready to harvest. And I'll upload a full growing guide for cabbage in the fall. And over here to the left, I have Italian oregano, lavender, and parsley in the corner there, along with potatoes that I planted about a week ago, and another parsley plant. Right here, here's a bunching onion that's pretty much producing seeds, and that's about it. Now up here above it, these are my blackberries. Not sure which variety of blackberry, but they are pretty sweet, and my daughter loves to snack on them. Now over in between the blackberries, I have a sage plant. Right here in the front, this is my rosemary from seed. Now these take forever to grow from seed, but it's well worth it. And you won't have to spend $6 on a transplant. And over here, here's a mango that I grew from seed. Now over here to the right, these are all carrots in the hill of dirt, along with another bunching onion. And in the back, these are bell peppers. Now in the front here, we have spinach. It's probably going to go to seed because I haven't been harvesting it. We don't eat much spinach. And right next to it is lettuce. That's actually going to seed. And that's why I'm out today, to go ahead and harvest the things that we do eat a lot of before it goes to seed. And these are all red Russian kale. These are also my dummy plants that I put out. So when the caterpillars come out and they want something to eat on, they don't go to my collards and my cabbage. They can just feed on those. And over here in the raised bed that I have the trellis on, these are potatoes. Now I think these are the German butterballs that I planted about a week ago, along with russets on the side. Now growing up the trellis, we have Sugar Daddy snap peas. And most of these are ready to harvest. And beside that, I have a blueberry, along with more snap peas. Now this particular plant here is probably about done producing, but I have some fresh ones that I'll plant once this one dies off. Now let's move along to the side wall here. These are all potatoes. We have russets in the first two bags, and those two up there are either white, red, or gold. Now this bed here is all white and Yukon Gold potatoes. Now some of the plants have completely died off and they're ready to harvest, but I still have a few that are growing that are still nice and green. So once this dies off completely, I'll do a potato harvest. And from the looks of it, This might be a good harvest this year. So once that's done, I might do a potato harvest video this year. I'm not sure. But in the middle, these are the strawberries that I had on the back porch. And right next to it, those are all red potatoes. Over here up against the wall, I have another mango from seed, along with the Cracker Jack Marigold. And here's another mango from seed with parsley growing in the front. And this is my pineapple plant. Now in the two containers here, these are all bush beans. Now this variety is a stringless green bean. And as you can see, these are ready to harvest. Over here in this raised bed, these are all different types of bush beans, pole beans, carrots, onions, flowers, clover. We also have another variety of pole beans here. So I'm going to be going through this today and harvesting all of the beans that are ready. And there are plenty over here. I also have another video on this, from seed to harvest, on how to grow your pole beans. We also have a potato plant that's popped up. It's probably one that I forgot last year when I did my potato harvest. There's more beans back there. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these spider webs and harvest the beans that need to be harvested. That way my plant keeps producing and it doesn't go to seed. There's plenty out here. Now over here, I think this is a Royal Burgundy pole bean. And as you can see, these are now ready to harvest. You want to harvest your beans when they swell up and you can see the actual shape of the bean inside of the pot. So I'll be harvesting these today, along with a few of the ones on this side. Now let's move along over here. Right here, these are all russet potatoes. Now these have about 30 days left before they're finished. And I also have some in the back in containers. This one I planted a few days ago and they haven't come up yet. I have another russet here. I have one here growing. And here's another container that hasn't come up yet. And next to it, more bush beans. And they've started producing. And right here in this container, this is probably one of my white or Yukon Gold potatoes. And I can tell the difference because the size of the leaf. These are wide and round. And over here with the russets, they're a little smaller and pointy at the end. Now over in the corner, this is my lemon balm, and it needs to be harvested before it goes to seed. And there's lemon balm growing all over the neighbor's yard. I also have a few Sugar Daddy snap peas over here as well. I even have more growing up the trellis here, right at the end of my potatoes. So I'm going to remove all the snap peas that I need so they can keep producing. Collards that are now ready to harvest. But I won't be harvesting the whole plant. I want these to grow all year round, so what I'll be doing is harvesting the leaves that are towards the bottom. That way they will keep producing leaves and they won't go to seed. And down here in the center of the cinder block, I have parsley growing in this one. I have flowers in this one, and I have more stringless green beans. And most of these are also ready to harvest, like the one you see here. And this right here is some type of wild bird seed, and it has started to grow blooms, so that should be blooming soon. And I have more stringless green beans down in here. And these are also ready to harvest. Now in the center of the cage, I have 20-pound grow bags and a few small containers. And right here, these are all different varieties of potatoes. But in the front right here, these are the burgundy pole beans that I showed you guys earlier. They've also started to flower, so within a few weeks I should have more pole beans to harvest from this container. And right here is one of my collards that survived last year's frost, so by the end of the spring I'll have plenty of collard seeds and I'll never have to buy them again. So if there's anyone that has any type of brassica that has went to seed, just let it finish up and collect the seeds. That way you'll never have to buy seeds from the store again. And down here, these are more of the stringless green beans. And most of these are also ready to harvest. And right here in the small gray container, these are all different varieties of carrots. And they're also ready to harvest. I'll probably leave those in there a little while longer, let them get a little bigger. And behind it is my dwarf curly kale. Now this plant has tried to go to seed a few times, and each time it tries, I just chop that part off and it grows out the nodes on the sides. And right underneath it, these are two of my cabbage plants that survived last year's frost. Now I thought they were going to go into seed, but as you can see, they're still trying to grow. So I'm going to let those finish up. And right here beside it, these are broccoli greens. The heads have been removed, but the plant is still producing greens. And you can cook these up just like you would cook up your collard greens. And I still have my little corner garden growing. Now last year this area was 5 by 16. This year it's 10 by 16. So if you have a small space in your yard, there's no excuse on not having enough to grow. But it's still under construction, as you can see. And this is mostly where I've grown cherry tomatoes and my indeterminates and determinate tomatoes. I'm going to save this area for the summer tour because it's still under construction. And that's it for today's video, you guys.